This entire quick commerce thing has now become a new norm, right? And every brand aspires to do that. But where do you see brands falling apart?
So if you get the assortment right in the dark store, when you place an order, the item is available, it gets delivered in 10 minutes or 30 minutes. The critical piece is what is the assortment in the dark store.
Do you see any other big use cases in AI which are actually creating an impact versus somebody who is just using AI as a use case in their pitch decks?
Absolutely, AI is bigger than what internet did in 2006. AI is way bigger. The impact it's going to have on the industry is much bigger. Everything under the sun people wanted when they wanted.
Yeah.
That's not just young people. That's everybody.
Everyone in the region is obsessed with storefronts, the app, website, ads, and the influencers. But here's the truth. Most e-commerce brands in GCC don't lose money on the front end. They lose money in a layer which is hidden. Nobody sees that layer. Orders that oversell, inventory that lies, warehouses that collapse during White Friday. Today, we're going to go inside that invisible layer with someone who has been building it for many years. My guest for today, Venkat Nott, founder and CEO of Vinculum Group. Venkat started Vinculum long before retail SaaS was a buzzword. Today, over 1,000 brands across 30 countries runs on Vinculum platform. Order management, warehouse management, product information, marketplace integration, cross-border, the entire operational backbone of modern commerce. His warehouse management product featured in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for 4 years in a row. Mr. Venkat, welcome to Let's Talk Ecommerce. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thanks for having me.
Amazing. So let's jump to these topics straight away. I've seen a lot of brands talking about storefronts, website, mobile application, influencer marketing, performance marketing, all of that, right? But nobody talks about the backbone of e-commerce, which is primarily order management, warehouse management, last mile fulfillment, etc., right? So where do you see these brands failing in terms of operating the backbone of e-commerce? And according to your experience, where do you see these brands having an impact on the operational efficiency and the entire logistic supply chain?
It's the usual thing. It's a season of football, so the striker gets all the attention.
Yeah.
Right? If you're playing T20 cricket, the guys who hit the sixes get the attention.
Sure.
Okay. But the hard work is done by the people who take the blows in Australia, like a Cheteshwar Pujara.
Yes.
Or the people who are the defenders and the midfield who create these opportunities in soccer. Right?
True.
Similarly, when you look at the supply chain order orchestration, you are really talking about the backbone of e-commerce. And while attention is at the front end, unless your throughput is beautifully orchestrated, unless your supply chain is seamlessly set up, you will always have situations where either you're overstocked or you're not having the items for which you're actually getting the orders. You will have stock out situations. So the increased throughput is actually the fundamental, and getting the right product at the right time and delivering it within the promised time is the key thing that differentiates a good brand from an average brand.
Sure.
So that's where the supply chain is actually the king, but doesn't get the attention it deserves.
Makes sense. So let's say if I'm a startup, I'm planning to start up my e-commerce. How do you help me understand what a order management system is or what a warehouse management system is? And when do I actually need those systems in place? Do I need these systems from day one, or after I reach a certain scale is when I start thinking about these systems?
Actually boils down to what really is your scale-up plan.
Okay.
If I am a guy who only is planning on a model where I will scale on selling on web store and marketplaces or just marketplaces, then what I need is a aggregator or a system which pulls all the orders and makes it very easy for me to fulfill. Okay, I could fulfill it from my own warehouse, or I could fulfill it from a third-party warehouse, right? There are companies out there who offer logistics as a service. I could partner with one of them and start my business. In which case, I'm looking for an OMS to start with. An OMS is a guy who basically pulls your orders and makes sure real time all orders from different channels are captured in one place. So whether it is from my website or whether it is from online marketplaces, I'm pulling all the orders, aggregating them, and deciding how do I fulfill it.
Right.
So if I am working with a third party logistics company, the feed will go to the third party company. The third party company is responsible for making sure your orders are delivered very fast and delivered correctly and in the right quantity, right packaging, etc.
Sure.
Right? If you are somebody who is planning on scaling up to a good, decent number, now good, decent number can be different things for
Subjective
different
for
people,
everyone.
right? But if I'm a company or a brand which is aiming to scale up to, let's say, more than 5,000 units a month, then basically, yes, you may be thinking of, okay, let me start with one warehouse along with selling online, right?
Sure.
So then you need a WMS system as well
Sure.
to be able to manage the automation of the warehouse. What is the warehouse is a storage unit from where you keep your goods and you're shipping your goods.
Yeah.
Now you have the pick inbounding operation, you have the operation for keeping the goods in the bins, and you are in a position to pick, pack, and ship the products. And you also have to make sure that you understand in e-commerce anywhere from 5% to 20% returns are there. So you need a system which can manage the returns as well, so that you easily inbound the returns and you update the inventory, either with a refurbished good to ship it back, or even otherwise, if it is in a good condition, you basically are able to sell it again. So you can't lose the goods because it's a sizable quantity.
Right. Right.
So that basically is where the OMS and WMS fit in. Now, of course, if you're a scaled up vendor and you are a distributor or a retailer or a larger brand, you may have stores. So you possibly can fulfill from the store as well. Similarly, if I'm somebody who is doing both B2B and B2C, then there are other challenges which come. Do I need separate warehouses? Can I operate from a central pool where I do both B2B and B2C?
Sure.
So these are aspects which we can discuss in more detail. But as a startup, basically this is the first step. You will need an OMS, and it's better to start very early. No point in using Excel sheets to do it. Today there are subscription-based software which help brands and sellers to easily manage orders. You don't want to be doing manual activity. You want to be selling more and you want to be scaling fast. For that, systems are there which inexpensively grow with you. So that's the best way to do it. And of course, if you either hit the scale or if you have a business model of a warehouse of your own, you should be in a position to have a WMS to manage that.
Makes sense. And when does TMS come into the picture?
TMS is basically something where you're using a product to manage your trucking and routing and shipment. You're looking at how do you make sure the product goes in the most efficient way to the destination.
Sure.
Now, if I am somebody who is sizable to have my own trucks, then definitely I need a system to manage those trucks. That is one scenario, right? So I'm managing the trucks and I'm managing the systems to in which I can route these beautifully or route these fast. Now, the second aspect where it comes to is I have a hybrid mechanism, right? I might be using multiple third parties and they may be players who are not technologically sound. In which case, I still need a system to be able to tell them how to run their operation in an efficient way. That could be even a startup, right? So a TMS becomes a candidate. I would say it becomes more and more important with size. So if you're a big player, you don't have a choice. If you're a marketplace, you don't have a choice. If you're a distributor or a retailer, frankly, you don't have a choice. If you're an enterprise brand, you don't have a choice. But if I'm a young D2C brand, possibly I don't need a TMS to start with. That is, first of all, the warehouse itself is outsourced. Then I don't need a TMS. But if it is my in-house warehousing system, even there, if the volumes are low, I possibly don't need it immediately. As we increase the scale, TMS starts becoming important, and hybrid offerings or my own fleet, I will need a system.
Makes sense. And it is not only limited to, let's say, the fleet, which is trucks, as you mentioned, but also the drivers using the app for the last mile, right? That is also where the TMS is being used
So the
as well.
driver app is a subcomponent, you're right. You want to be able to make sure you know where the drivers are, and you also want to make sure what happens if the customer is not available at the location when a product is being delivered. How do you
Right.
make sure that you either have a fallback number to call or you bring it back to the warehouse because you don't want to lose the product, right? So that
Yeah.
those are elements for which solutions are available. Those are important part of making sure that you are operating seamlessly.
Sure. We haven't touched upon PIM. That's another important component in the e-commerce journey, right? So if you can share more details on what a PIM is and how brands can leverage PIM to improve the quality of the catalog and product metadata as well.
Two parts actually. Okay, when you think of a PIM is a product information management. The first thing is the product data is may in all likelihood is sitting in different systems. Okay, so which means I'll I'll tell you more from a master data management example
Okay.
perspective. A PIM is a kind of a master data for product data. Okay. It's easy to relate from a loyalty system perspective. My name is Venkat Nott. You may call me Venkat Nott. You may call me VR Nott. You may call me Mr. Nott. It's all the same person, right? So what do? You will find either my passport number or my phone number, which is a connector, which will be common in all the records, and you will crunch it into one place. Instead of creating 4 loyalty cards, you'll have 1 loyalty card, right? Similarly, in a catalog, your data is sitting in disparate data sources. So you first pull those data. In historical way, we used to write scripts to pull data, etc. Today, you don't need to do all that. The PIM actually is an intelligent guy who pulls the data from different sources and standardizes them, cleanses them, and make sure you have a central repository of your product data.
Sure.
So this is across all channels. This could be your offline channel, this could be your online channel, website, it could be your stores, it doesn't matter. It's like a repository of product data.
Sure.
So that's the first part of it. Now, once you have a clean central repository, there are a lot of things you can do with that data. One of the things is publishing. What is publishing in industry parlance? It's called catalog listing.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say I'm a brand who's selling in Noon, I'm selling in Namshi, I'm selling in Amazon. I'm selling in, let's say, in India, something like a Myntra or an Amazon or a Nykaa, etc. Now, the way each of these marketplaces expect the data is not the same, right? Some of them want a transparent background. Some of them want a white background. The images, I'm saying.
Right.
The size of the images are different. The resolutions are different. Languages are different. Attributes are different. We have situations where men are classified as boys in some marketplace, and in some marketplace they are men. So you have to keep creating the data in a way that the marketplace understands it.
Sure.
And the shirt I'm wearing could be wrinkle free, could be a particular color, could be the kind of buttons. This is plain, but and then there's a brand. There could be the size, American size. I don't know
size,
if,
UK size, all
UK
of that.
size,
Yeah.
all of that size, right? So there are different sizes. All of these, when you classify, each guy doesn't expect information the same way. The attributes are different.
Right.
When attributes are different, then you need a system which automatically does it, or you have to manually do this. So the trouble with manually doing this is time to market. So for every channel that I launch, I'll have to recreate the picture, recreate the content, and I publish it. So that makes life needlessly slow. If you're a fashion brand, you lost a cycle, one of the seasons, because it takes 2 to 3 months to get this ready and to be in a position to get it approved. One part is making sure that you have a central repository of product data. Then the other side is the catalog listing. So an example is if I'm a brand who's selling in 10 countries, I obviously need a system which allows me to easily publish into the sales channels in each country. Even if I'm only in my domestic country, even there I might be selling on multiple channels. There again, for speed to market, a PIM helps you to unify content and publish it. So this is one part of it. With AI coming in, you have very interesting additional opportunities. One is content as a service.
Yeah.
So you don't need models anymore. Even the big celebrities, they don't physically go for shooting videos anymore.
Yeah.
So people are selling their videos and rights on a timeshare basis.
Right.
So today, if you get a endorsement from a movie star or a sports star, there's every likelihood that real videos are being used by AI to generate your product videos.
Sure.
So you pay on the basis of the time you spend.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the industry is moving. So this is one aspect of it. And content as a service, you can actually use AI to create product content at scale.
Yeah.
So this becomes in any language, in any way. And of course, from a product perspective, the PIM becomes a beautiful layer where the central repository is able to help you to be able to create add-on content as a service.
Sure.
So the other side of the fence is agentic workflows can crawl and look at your competition, and you can have 24/7 tracking of what's happening in the market, and for you to respond super fast to your competition.
Right.
Of course, you can have human in the loop who approves the things, but while you're enjoying the match between Spain and Belgium today, you can still approve and launch a counter campaign on your competition. So
Yeah.
that's as beautiful as how it gets.
Yeah.
So this is there because of a consistent, clean product data and the ability to use it as a central repository.
Sure.
So these are the things where it's evolving. Today, the PIM, people are starting to call it product experience management
Okay.
because of this. Because it
Interesting.
no longer is just PIM.
Yeah.
The content and PIM are getting interfused into a single area.
Yeah, makes sense. Since you talk about AI, let's discuss a couple of other cases. One is, of course, content creation and the way this entire content creation industry is evolving, right? Do you see any other big use cases in AI which are actually creating an impact versus somebody who is just using AI as a use case in their pitch decks,
I am seeing AI make the opportunity to use AI to make a difference is huge. Whether companies are doing justice to it is a different discussion. Everybody uses AI in their pitch decks.
Yeah.
Absolutely, AI is bigger than what internet did in 2006, 2007. AI is way bigger. The impact it's going to have on the industry is much bigger.
Interesting.
So the hype cycle which we are talking about is real. There are companies which are just going and pasting and talking about AI.
Yeah.
But the ability to use AI to speed up, to be able to do stuff which completely changes, transforms the way you work is real. Make no bones about it. So absolutely nobody can ignore it.
Amazing. All right, let's talk Omnichannel. If you can share more details about it.
We spoke about younger brands. But Omnichannel comes in when you have stores of your own.
Yes.
So that means we are either a mid-sized, mid-market brand or an enterprise brand.
Yeah.
Right?
And a retailer.
Could
in
be a
some
retailer.
sense, yeah.
Could be a marketplace also. Even marketplaces do omni-channel fulfillment with brands.
Yeah.
So the definition of omni-channel has changed.
Yes.
Omni-channel has been around for decades, but the products which are out there, the OMS systems which are popular in the market, they understand omni-channel as my store and my website. Without taking names,
Yeah.
all the big boys and the well-known products in the market,
Yeah.
they don't understand this animal online marketplaces. But today, omni-channel is any channel commerce. What I mean by any channel is you and I don't care about whether I'm shopping on Noon or Amazon or whether I'm walking into the store or a franchisee or a distributor or social commerce or a TikTok or a Facebook or an Instagram. I might buy anywhere I am spending my time on. Okay.
Yeah.
I want brands to be available in every place that interests me and where I spend time on. Okay, now brands have a challenge with that. They need a system which in kind of integrates the inventory across all these channels and is in a position to offer me the promise of delivery. Let's say I'm buying a Levi's jeans. Let's say I like a brown jeans, size 34, comfort fit. I go online on their website, which runs on Shopify, and I want to buy the jeans. So I place the order. I spend 400 dirhams to buy a pair of jeans, and bingo, it has come after 2 days in my house. And I open up, happy, excited. It's a 34 size jeans, brown color, but I see it's a skinny fit jeans. Okay, I said, oh shit, I can't wear a skinny fit. I try to exercise a lot, but skinny fit is not going to work for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so my options are I return it and get a refund. Doesn't solve my problem. I want a brown color jeans.
Yeah.
The other option is I say, get me a replacement. If I get a replacement, it's okay if they give it to me immediately. If they give it to me after 2-3 days, I'm still disappointed and not happy as a customer. Now, a true omnichannel, and it's amazing how brands are thinking today, is for me to, even though I purchased it online, whether this is in this example I said website, but if I purchase from a marketplace as well, can I walk into a real store, a Levi's store, and the manager says, Venkat, don't worry, here is a gift card. You spent 400 dirhams.
Yeah.
Here is a gift card for 400 dirhams. Your loyalty points have been adjusted. My sales associate will walk you around, show you all 34 size comfort fit jeans, not just the one you placed an order over. You please take a look at all the options and use it to purchase. And you know what? If you don't get something of your choice, or if you want to buy something else, you can use the gift card for that as well. Let's say I end up spending 600 or 700 dirhams. The additional 300 dirhams can be placed in any tender. It could be cash, it could be a credit card, it could be any legal tender, right? So that is interesting because today, the example I've said infuses both online and offline.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about unification of data and tech. Okay. And I'm talking about seamless flow of data between channels.
Yeah.
Right? And the ability to convert what actually is a not so happy customer into a delighted customer.
Absolutely.
Okay, that is basically omnichannel,
Yes.
where I'm enabling any channel commerce.
Yeah.
Return anywhere. See, we have these industry, we all like acronyms, but buy online, pick up in store, reserve and collect, click and collect. All of those are basically, when you look at it, unification of data and tech.
Right.
How can I make sure that it is convenient for me? I place an order online, I'm not going to be home. Can I pick it up from the store?
Yeah.
They should be able to keep it for me.
Yeah.
But the secret sauce is real-time view of inventory
Absolutely.
and the unification of data and tech across channels.
Yeah.
Any channel commerce is what does it. And of course, you can do store hopping, order hopping.
Yeah.
Let's say a product item, I have placed an order online. It's not available in a particular store. You also can, the system automatically will check other stores and fulfill the order.
Absolutely.
Right? Or if the store manager or somebody is not picking up the order within a time slot, it will automatically toggle into somewhere else. Right. So all of these are very usual use cases. So we have had the opportunity to do this across industries, whether it's jewelry, whether it is home improvement, electronics, fashion, healthcare. So we've been exposed to a lot of use cases and we discover new things, but it's actually been fun looking at how to enhance the customer experience for the brand.
Sure. No, sounds amazing. I mean, very well explained. I mean, the entire omni-channel experience is what brands are looking for, right? But another aspiration of these brands is delivering orders within 60 minutes. In, let's say, in case of fashion, it is happening in Dubai where there are brands who are promising deliveries in 60 minutes, and then there are other brands who are delivering grocery in, let's say, 10 minutes. So this entire quick commerce thing has now become a new norm, right? And every brand aspires to do that. But according to your experience, where do you see brands falling apart, or let's say, in order to catch up with this quick commerce thing, they're struggling at the moment?
Again, I'll take some of, we've had the opportunity to work in multiple markets. In this market, we are working with a player called Med7, where we are fulfilling from this inventory in store and delivering medicines within 45 minutes. Okay. So where across GCC, we are enabling order which looks up the inventory in each store, in each area, and delivers from the stock in the store, right?
Okay.
Now, the same thing can be done for grocery. If you do that from store, that's one business model. If you do it from warehouse, that's a different business model. If you do it from dark store, that's a third model, right? The interesting aspect, and I'll look into my experience in the Indian industry, 40% of quick commerce in India runs on our platform. So I've had the opportunity to work both sides, both with the marketplaces and with the brands. Now, marketplaces like Swiggy Instamart, which is a listed company, runs end-to-end on Vinculum. Now, what is the aspect here? I actually manage the sellers. I onboard the sellers on a seller panel. I bring the items into collection centers. From collection centers, it goes into regional hubs. There are about 80 warehouses across India where our software is deployed. And I give hybrid intelligence along with their internal algorithms to see what is kept in the dark store. So if you get the assortment right in the dark store, when you place an order, the item is available, it gets delivered in 10 minutes or 30 minutes. The critical piece is what is the assortment in the dark store. And you need to capture the dark store next to your building so that you are able to deliver. Because there's no time to deliver, right?
Yeah.
So that's basically the secret sauce there. So both the ability to have the dark stores and to have the intelligence to do it. And this whole piece, we do it for generic medicines. There's a player called TrueMeds. There is a JV that Tata has with Tesco for grocery. We do it for them. Similarly, we also do it for spare parts as a after sale experience in automobiles for bikes and other things, where we help people to run dark stores and fix the problems with your bikes or cars, etc. in a rapid way.
Nice.
Similarly, we also do this for fast fashion startups kind of thing. Now, but if I go back to trends, right? Well, interestingly, on one side, there are marketplaces who are cracking the code by fulfilling from store or fulfilling from warehouse or fulfilling from warehouse plus dark store. That is one model. And these are obviously category wise, or it could be generic marketplaces. Critical piece being having the right product and having the network of dark stores. The second side of the fence is startups who are emerging, who basically focus on fast deliveries from an industry perspective. So there are a whole bunch of them we work with as well. And one of the startups which I enjoy working with is a player called Xylo. Okay. Xylo does fast fashion deliveries in India. Okay. Now in Middle East, similarly, I would expect many startups for fast fashion deliveries and for deliveries of other categories to come up. Okay. So this basically is the second part of it. Now the third part is the brands itself. Now brands can work with the players like Instamart, Zepto, etc. or Kareem here or Nana in Saudi, etc. And Noon Now kind of business models where the fast deliveries are happening through the regular marketplaces. The other way is, can the brands themselves do the fast deliveries? Now, what does it take? They already have the brands. There are these startups who have the dark stores available. You have to work on a network of dark stores to get the coverage right. And you're in a position to get the right software player vendor to work with you. But here, the important point is, do you have the understanding or the muscle to create performance marketing, to get the orders to your website directly? Because the moment you're not working with a Kareem and you're trying to do it yourself, you have to make sure that the orders flow. So the trick is to get the right minimum volume.
Right.
Otherwise, the unit economics will not play.
Yeah.
So you have to carefully look at the business model. Anurag, you yourself are a great team for performance marketing and the front end development for companies.
Right.
So I think there is a very interesting opportunity for you to help brands to be in a position to get this right.
Absolutely.
So if you get the volumes right, this becomes another distribution channel. See, I am a strong believer in not one over the other. You want to work with Kareem, you want to work with your own network, you also want to work with Noon Now, and you want to look at every possible way. Frankly, TikTok and Instagram, etc. also orders. You may be in a position to deliver fast if you have a network of your own dark stores. So you want to be able to be present in every business model and in every channel that people will shop.
Absolutely.
Now that's possibly a different perspective to what you
No,
normally hear.
I love that perspective, and it's actually a great opportunity for brands like us who want to cater to different business models, different business verticals, and looking forward to the opportunity. So one last question before we wrap up, and this is more of a founder to founder question. Since you have been in this space for quite some time, and I would say before even the retail SaaS as a buzzword came into the market, you were already there, right? And you have navigated through all these challenges, right, during pandemic, and then in this AI era wherein businesses are trying to remodel their entire value proposition, right? So what has been your key takeaways or your learnings out of this entire experience, and where do you see this industry as an e-commerce growing, or let's say, where do you see this industry in next 5 years?
Partly that's a very challenging question. Okay. Just because 5-year predictions can go beautifully wrong. Okay. However, I think the fundamental thing is keeping the customer at the center of everything you do. Why has quick commerce taken off? Is because it's convenience, right? If it is convenient for the customer to get an item without waiting, you're basically making it easier for the customer to shop. During the pandemic, we bet on grocery and medicines taking off. Okay, that is what I actually extended our products for, from a content, orders, and fulfillment perspective. Because industry requirements are different, right?
Yeah.
But ironically, what I realized was grocery did take off, but no one wanted medicines. People wanted PlayStations.
Yeah.
People wanted movie tickets. People wanted other items, but they didn't want medicines online initially. Now it has progressed to where we are able to offer medicines in 45 minutes. So I did this in 21. Finally, I'm seeing the business in 25 and 26.
Yeah, so you got it right? So it's
I got it right, but I was too early. Okay, what I'm trying to say is I was too early for it. So I see every aspect moving into more and more faster deliveries. Okay. I also see quality brands doing better. Okay. Why? Because the brand promise becomes more and more important.
Absolutely.
And people, and this will cut across, whether it is jewelry, whether it is automobiles, whether it is electronics, whether it is home gadgets, everything people will want it when they want it.
Yeah.
Okay. Means in India, we are even making Victoria's Secrets available in 2 hours. Okay. Through one of the well-known distributors who are also there in Middle East. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is everything under the sun, people want it when they want it.
Yeah.
See, that's not just young people. That's everybody.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Even 50 plus, 60 plus people, 50 plus is young. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But even 65, 70, etc. people are comfortable shopping.
Yeah.
I'm just
absolutely.
joking. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
So, what I'm trying to say is you want the flexibility, you want the convenience. So whatever business model enable that, that's where the trends will go. I do expect social commerce to play a big role, which is not at this point.
Not there yet.
I would expect e-commerce and social commerce to merge. So that is one trend I expect in a big way.
Right.
I do expect a lot of consolidation. in every aspect, whether it is software tools, whether it is in terms of quick commerce players, whether it is marketplaces. You will find 3-4 players maximum in a market.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 players. See, today there are a lot of players who have emerged. So you can't, there's no room for everybody to survive.
Yeah.
So the important thing is take care of the customer will take care of.
Right. Well said, sir. Thank you so much for your time. It was an insightful session for me personally. We pretty much covered the entire behind the scenes as we started the topic with. And I think we touched upon OMS, we touched upon PIM, we touched upon WMS. I mean, quite a lot to cover still cannot be done in one episode. Maybe we can do another episode, maybe another time. But yeah, thank you so much for your time today. It was wonderful having you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me, and always enjoyable to talk to you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
And to everyone watching, if this conversation gave you even one idea worth acting on, do us a favor. Subscribe us on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, and share this episode with one person on your team who runs operation. They'll thank you for sure. Until next time, keep building, keep scaling. This is Anurag Byala from Let's Talk Ecommerce.